diet pill contained unhatched eggs of tapeworms.
And put down the dinner, kids, because it's getting grosser from here. They hatch inside of her so she can, as you said, go to this pageant, lose this weight, and then she ends up in the emergency room.
You know, Nancy, nobody has ever, accused her of being sane. I think we all know that she does crazy things, from flipping tables and going nuts, and certainly has ideas of grandeur.
Put them up.
I
appreciate all that. I actually am busy working and taking care of my twins. I don't get to watch The Real Housewives, but I'm glad you gave me that synopsis. I don't really care about any of that. What I care about is trying to cheat the government out of $5 million. That's from
not necessarily her.
Nancy, and she's got
she signed the documents.
Oh, come on. It's a reality show.
Put him up.
It's a reality. It's her shtick.
Cut his mic.
She formed a business.
Cut his mic. Thank you.
So what you're trying to do is get this as tight as possible. I think you can see where it comes together. Unfortunately, what can happen is with getting out of the car, running around, doing your gear, that can sometimes split a little bit. So here's the danger areas, is right down here. It's not here, and it's not here. It's these side panels that can pull apart, and I think that's exactly what happened to this camera guy.
Or they want to get him away from the pregnant bride. You know, she works inside the prison, and she met him that way, began to give him food and bring him food, homemade food. They allow that in Peru. And then they began to have those conjugal visits, Nancy.
You mean have sex behind bars?
Yeah.
Let's not put perfume on the pig, Jane. So Jorn
But you can't wear a miniskirt. Big sign, no miniskirts allowed.
To you, Christopher Robinson, you went through that a little bit quickly. For those out there that haven't fired a gun as much as you and I have been forced to do so, could you go through that? You went through it slowly. I want to see you do it quickly because I want to see how that would work. So let me get the camera trained on what Chris is doing.
Okay, so if I take a fully loaded weapon, 13 rounds, I place the magazine above the weapon. You could load it very quickly. If it's already loaded, all you have to do is pull the trigger of the weapon. As fast as you can humanly pull the trigger, it's as fast as the weapon will shoot.
And then a pause, and then the other shots.
And I can tell you exclusively, Nancy, that she wants it to be Melissa Gorga, her sister-in-law, who she's always feuding with, and her brother Joe.
Whoa, the one she's always fighting with? You mean that's not real?
Oh, I know, right? Sorry to tell you that it's not all real.
You ruined the whole thing for me, Chloe.
I know.
As soon as I was done getting the money, I went to shut the drawer, and he kept saying, no, all of it. At that point, all there was change in the drawer. So I started pulling the drawer apart to show him there was nothing else in there. When he realized there was nothing else in there, that's when he pointed up front and told me to hurry up. And at that point, we walked up front. And as I was putting the numbers in to open the register, that's when the police entered in. All I could hear was just screaming. I can't remember what was being yelled, and just remember hearing gunfire at that point.
Were you afraid you were going to die?
Yes. At that point, I didn't know what was going on, and the only thought going through my head was I wanted to get home.
I think, Nancy, the real defense is pageant mom. I have never seen something like this in my entire life.
You're the defense
and I've
lawyer.
been around
You're not
pageants.
helping.
I know I'm a defense lawyer.
Okay, you're fired.
And so it was a very personal day, very heartfelt, very tough day for them, and to at least bring some closure to this part of what has happened, and to show respect to him.
You know what? You know how Daryl, I respect you immensely. I really do. But don't jump up and say closure to a violent crime victim. Okay? Don't. Because there's no such thing as closure. In fact, I don't know how that mother, I do not know how that mother is walking. I don't know how she is even standing up right now.
They don't recommend anybody younger than 8 shooting firearms.
8. And this little girl is 9.
This girl is 9. I mean, this was something she wanted to do for weekend, and we're not the only shooting range in and around Las Vegas.
Well, you know, I appreciate that. I really do. But my little boy, he's 6, and he wants to fly. But you know what I said? No, John David, you're not going to fly. It's not safe.